Hello, Cancer, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall oracle cards for the reading and clarified those. I have the tarot deck that I'll be diving into already shuffled, as well as the decks that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. All right, Cancer. I feel like there's going to be some hard truths in this reading, but I feel like there always are in my readings, but I also feel like it's going to be a very positive reading. So in your recent past, you have reflect on your priorities with the Three of Wands in reverse. In your recent past, there was this need to take a look at the things that you were investing in, the people, the situations, maybe a career path, to see if something was aligning with your comfort zone or with the life that you truly want to live. One of my favorite quotes is actually in my, I'm not using it this week, but it's in my Soul Truth deck. And it talks about how if you're not living the life of your dreams, it is because a part of you does not believe it's possible. If you do not have the financial abundance you want, the love that you're looking for, or any other aspect of your life isn't aligning with the life that you want, it's because a part of you doesn't believe it's possible. Therefore, we have a tendency to play it safe, right? We have a tendency to settle for relationships that don't serve us because we fear being alone. We have a tendency to settle for careers and jobs that don't make us happy or don't fulfill us, but pay the bills because we're afraid that we won't have the money that we want if we pursue a path that we actually desire. And those aspects of our life and taking a look at those aspects of our life can help us get into alignment with what it is that is truly meant for us, which will therefore bring us the abundance and the love that we are ultimately searching for. So your recent past was a lot about needing to reflect on what you're investing in and seeing if it has brought you what it is that you're wanting, or if you feel as if you have been living a life of being very unfulfilled and unhappy. In your current energy, you have step up and lead with the Two of Wands. This really is talking about taking charge of your life, making sure that you are looking at your life through the lens of possibility instead of the lens of limiting expectations based on what you have experienced, right? That's the tricky thing about us, is that 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. And our subconscious is going to be made up of beliefs that we have internalized throughout our experience. So if you've only experienced a certain level of financial abundance, or you've only experienced a certain type of relationship, a part of you is internalized that that's all that is possible or meant for you or you're capable of. And those beliefs then become a product of how we interact with our environment. So our movements, choices, and decisions start aligning with these limiting beliefs instead of the unlimited possibilities that are actually out there for us. And so the energy that you're currently in is you're being given this opportunity by the universe to be able to step up, take charge of your own life, and align with everything that it is that you're truly, truly wanting. Now, your immediate future, you have believe in your good luck with the Temperance card. Life is a tricky, tricky balance between investing and letting go. You know, when we talk about manifestation, a lot of people think, oh, I've got to grind really hard, or I've got to work really hard, or I've got to manipulate my outcomes in order to make things happen. That's actually not that's actually not manifestation. That's manipulation and control. And now a part of you believes that you have to control in order to receive abundance because that's what you've experienced. Your control is what has gotten you here. It's what has kept you safe. Therefore, you believe on a certain level that that is what is necessary in order for you to achieve whatever it is that you're wanting. Now, that doesn't have to be true, right? Your beliefs about your reality don't have to be the beliefs that you have moving forward. But that's the whole kind of spiritual process, is learning how to learning how to unlearn the beliefs that have kept you from the life that you are ultimately wanting and the circumstances that your soul is searching for. Let's start, though, by looking at the actual situation. Let's dive into tarot. Let's get some, because this is just overall energy. So the overall theme, but let's dive into the actual situation. Cancer, let's start by looking at your recent past. You have reflect on your priorities with the Three of Wands in reverse. This is for Cancer's recent past. One more. Recent past for Cancer, clarifying reflect on your priorities with the Three of Wands in reverse. This is for Cancer's recent past, please. Whenever I was pulling these cards in the beginning, I saw this Queen of Swords in reverse come out in this deck and this deck. I actually think it might still be on the bottom here. No, it's not. It's on the top. No, it's not. Okay. Well, I did. I saw it come out in both of those decks, and that Queen of Swords in reverse can be this energy of having your heart closed off to alternate outcomes. And what that can look like is the universe has, every opportunity that you want available for you. The abundance that you want, the lifestyle that you want, the relationships that you want. But when we attach our happiness or we say that things have to go a certain way, what we're doing is we're telling the universe, if things don't work out this way, then I'm not going to be happy. And that closes off our heart and our mind to the possibility that something just might not go the way we think it will, but will actually work out in a way that is better for us. And that is no one's fault. Your trauma and the way that you have internalized your experiences and the expectations that you have about your life, it's not your fault. It is, however, your responsibility to get to the core of where this stems from, because you have this Five of Wands here. This Five of Wands talks about resistance. It can be conflict, but the way that I view it, especially in this context of what we're talking about today, is resistance. And that resistance to your abundance are those 95% beliefs that align more with what you have experienced instead of what is possible for you. So this is you opening up to the possibility that the universe has for you in store. And even though it might not look like you think it will, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be just as good, if not better, than the way that you currently are wanting it to be, or the way that you were wanting it to be in your recent past. More for Cancer's recent past, please. Recent past for Cancer. One more. This is for Cancer's recent past. Oh, I don't like the way this came out. They were supposed to, they will again. Recent past for Cancer, please. Ooh, okay. Okay. Six of Wands with the Nine of Swords in reverse and the Six of Cups. You've been in this energy, Cancer, of hoping. Okay. Ooh, dang, this is a hard truth, but I really feel like this is going to lead to like really positive messages for you. Something that a lot of us have a tendency to get ourselves stuck in, and I've done it myself. Every single person on this earth has done this at some point or another, where we use our hope of something going exactly the way that we want to as a way to cope and alleviate our fear and anxiety that we're actually looking to alleviate through this certain outcome. So, for instance, we have a tendency to be like, I want this relationship to work out, and I hope that this relationship will work out. And we watch tarot readings and we talk to other people that we know will affirm this hope and to tell us that, yes, this relationship's going to work out exactly the way that you want. Because on the flip side is all of the fear of not being able to have what it is that you desire, of not ever being able to be loved, of not fully having the relationship that you want. And so instead of facing those fears and those anxieties, we hope for specific outcomes because that hope alleviates us from fear. If there's anything I've learned on this journey is that there is hope, there is fear, and then in between the two is faith. Fear and hope are an illusion. Hoping for something specific is merely alleviating the fear of something specific. Now, I'm not saying hope is a bad thing. We should always hope for good things, right? Hope that things go well. But hoping for something specific, like I hope this specific relationship works out, is the fear of, I fear I will be alone, or I fear I will not ever have the relationship that I deserve or the love that I deserve. And the more that you hope for something specific, the more that you open yourself up to disappointment when things don't go exactly the way that you want them to. And so your recent past, I feel like you were experiencing that cycle, hoping that things improve, disappointment when they don't. And it's like the hope whenever that hope goes away, you're left with that fear, because the hope is merely a band-aid for the fear. So what I'm getting at is there's this need to open up your perception and look at the things that you're investing in your life and say, am I investing in these things because I like how they are right now? Because I like how they make me feel right now, today? Or are you investing in something because you're hoping it becomes something better in the future? Because that right there, when you can start looking at your life through the lens of the reality of the situation instead of the hope or the fear, you can start to align, and that's why you have this Two of Wands here, with what is really truly meant for you. And oftentimes we realize that what is really truly meant for us is waiting for us on the other side of a situation that isn't meant for us. Recent past for Cancer. This is recent past for Cancer, please. Interesting. Fool in reverse, Page of Wands in reverse, Knight of Swords, and the Magician in reverse. Your recent past is a lot of keeping busy. Trying to, if you are always working towards something, you will always be able to have hope for something. And sometimes that's not good for us. Because then the second you stop being busy or that you stop having control, that fear and that anxiety starts to be so overwhelming that we're not able to fully handle it. So what I'm seeing here is there is some sort of a new beginning, Fool in reverse, that is available to you, but that isn't able to manifest because of the energy you've been giving to something that isn't meant for you. And I feel like, and the only reason you're investing in this, whatever this is, whatever is within your comfort zone, whatever we've been talking about, is because you don't believe that anything better will ever manifest. And that's where we get ourselves stuck. Just because something is the best you've ever experienced does not mean that is as good as it gets. And the more that you narrow your focus and saying, this is the best that it gets for me, or this is this is as good as it's ever gotten, therefore if it doesn't work out, then I'm never going to have better. That is a limiting belief within itself. Just because it's as good as you've experienced does not mean it's as good as it gets. And I feel like there's that need to realize that you have so much more potential in your life when it comes to love, relationships, financial abundance, your career path, your level of success, your level of accomplishment, all of that, than you are allowing yourself to see. And the reason that you have a tendency and have had a tendency, Cancer, in your recent past to settle is because you don't believe that anything better is ever going to be able to take its place. And that's the whole thing, right? You watch people who work jobs that they absolutely despise just because they feel that they're going to reach a certain level of accomplishment one day. And once they get to that level of accomplishment, then they're finally going to be fulfilled and happy. But then once they reach that level of accomplishment, all of a sudden there's a new level of accomplishment that they have to work for. And striving for that next thing will keep you stuck in this constant loop of chasing the next thing. And the more that you chase that next thing, the more that next thing doesn't bring you the happiness and fulfillment that you want. So therefore you keep adding these levels of expectations for yourself, and you say, if you don't reach this expectation, then you're a failure. If you don't reach this expectation, then you're never going to be happy. And that will continuously be the cycle until you break it, stop, and realize that your happiness does not exist in the next thing. It doesn't exist in the next accomplishment. It doesn't exist in the next relationship. It exists in the present moment where you are right now today. And that was probably the hardest thing for me to learn on this journey is well, if I am so happy with my circumstances, then how can I ever find this happiness within? But then once I found the happiness within, my circumstances turned into what made me happy. So it's that quote, as above, so below, as within, so without. And it's definitely playing a role in this reading. So let's see, Cancer, what you're dealing with in your current energy, because you have step of the lead with the Two of Wands. You are being given an opportunity by the universe to align with what is really meant for you. But I feel like it's going to take something in particular. Current energy for Cancer, clarifying step up and lead with the Two of Wands. Current energy for Cancer, clarifying step up and lead with the Two of Wands. I like the way that came out. Current energy for Cancer, clarifying step up and lead with the Two of Wands. There we go. Oh, that's funny that this is the same one that came out. Okay, there was more that was needed. Okay, this is a lot. Okay. So this is about your Sun and your Ten of Pentacles. Sun and Ten of Pentacles. Okay, your happiness, your long-term fulfillment, your sustainable long-term fulfillment, because attracting is actually the easy part. Sustaining it is the hard part. And the biggest thing for you to understand is that we have a tendency, all of us as human beings, to, when we attach to a specific outcome, like I've been talking about, and that outcome doesn't come to fruition the way that we expect, or doesn't happen as quickly as we'd expect, or whatever the case is, we cause ourselves emotional turmoil because we allow ourselves to believe our fear. Our fear being you're never going to get there, you're never going to be happy, you're never going to have what you desire, you're never going to be safe, you're never going to be secure, you're never going to be loved, right? And that fear, it never goes away. Fear never ever goes away. But the trick is making sure that you don't allow that fear to dictate your decisions. Meaning, if you fear being alone forever, that should not ever make you settle for a relationship that doesn't serve you. Because fearing being alone forever is merely just a fear. The universe always has someone or something in store for you that aligns with your desire. But the more that you allow your fear of something going wrong, and therefore allow that fear to dictate your movement, choices, and decisions, the more you are letting fear win. And that fear will always keep you from this, Ten of Pentacles and Sun, your true happiness and true fulfillment. And so I feel like as you're listening to this reading, if anyone has made it this far, because this is a very hard truth kind of reading, then you might be asking, like, okay, then what do I do? I don't know what to do. I know I'm not happy. I know that I'm not fulfilled, but what do I need to do? And my advice always is to ask for guidance. Ask for guidance from the universe, God, your higher self, a spiritual connection of your own understanding, and be open to receiving it. Because that is the only way that you are going to be able to truly listen to yourself. Instead of trying to spend your life alleviating fears, instead of choosing faith, right? You're either living in hope, living in fear, or choosing faith. All right, current energy for Cancer. Current energy for Cancer, please. This King of Cups in reverse is interesting with this Two of Cups, because when I was shuffling, I was like, oh, I didn't hit on that King of Cups, and then this Ten of Pentacles, Sun. Basically, these same messages came out because I didn't talk about what I needed to. Five of Pentacles with the Three of Wands in reverse. The more that you invest in your comfort zone, and your comfort zone, Cancer, whether or not you realize it, is lack. You are so used to not having what it is that you desire or want or need that has become your comfort zone. Your movements, choices, and decisions have aligned with the belief that lack is all there is for you. And your ego has tried to protect you from anything other than what it is that you are used to. It's kind of interesting. Our ego can also protect us from things that are good for us. And I feel as if you're used to like mistreatment in some way, shape, or form, whether that be at work or whether that be from like just from other people in general, from your relationships, from your, romantic relationship. I don't know. It could be across the board. You're used to mistreatment, to being treated as less than your value. And you've accepted that as all you deserve. And so when you find yourself feeling very triggered and feeling very overly emotional and feeling angry and feeling resentful towards your circumstances, all of that is actually resentment towards yourself for settling for mistreatment in situations that you think you need, because you think that if you don't have these situations that you're not going to be happy, but that are actually contributing to your lack of happiness. Man, this is like a freaking all the readings this week, like a Gemini reading, which actually is interesting because I was thinking this reminded me of the Gemini reading, and I'm just remembering that in that Gemini reading, I'm pretty sure they had step up and lead in their current energy too. But all of my readings this week have been very like wake up call-ish. I mean, the title of the Gemini reading was like, this is your wake up call. All right, current energy for Cancer. Current energy for Cancer, please. One more. This is for Cancer's current energy. Cancer. Why don't you trust yourself? Why don't you trust the way that you feel? Why don't you trust your intuition? Why don't you trust whenever you are feeling unhappy and undervalued and underappreciated? Why don't you trust that those feelings are trying to tell you something? Now, let me backtrack, because feelings aren't truths, right? When you're having a feeling, it does not mean that is actually like who you are or what the reality is. But those feelings can also give you insight into what's being triggered. So I feel as if you're in this energy of allowing, I really feel like it's not even not putting yourself first. It's like not standing up for yourself, not saying this is what I deserve and nothing less. Like it's like this energy of needing to realize that you are so much more capable of so much more than what you are selling yourself short as. And you're selling yourself short because you think that the path that you're currently on, or what you're currently investing in, or the relationship that you're in or wanting or whatever, that is good as it gets. That is as good as it gets. That waiting for someone is as good as it gets for you. That wanting someone to change for you is as good as it gets for you. That's not true. The situations that align with you with ease and effortless manner. You're able to see that you feel at home. You feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You don't feel like you're always fighting for things to be better. And I feel like that's what you've been dealing with possibly for your whole life, Cancer, is fighting for things to be better than they are right now, whether that's in relationships or careers. And I feel like it's time, you're in this energy of needing to reevaluate, am I investing in things that are truly meant for my soul? Or am I investing in things that make me hope for the better? Because those are two very different things. You deserve situations that make you feel exactly that make you feel good for exactly where you are right now. That doesn't mean there's not room for growth. It just means that you shouldn't have to live for the hope of something in order to be happy. Immediate future for Cancer, clarifying believe in your good luck with the Temperance. Immediate future for Cancer, clarifying believe in your good luck with the Temperance. For Cancer's immediate future. One more. This is for Cancer's immediate future. Whether or not you realize it, the situations that you give to, Nine of Wands, 10 of Wands in reverse, 6 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Hierophant. And then the Moon. Ooh. And the 5 of Cups. Oh, okay. whether or not you realize that the situations that you give energy to that don't reciprocate your energy, that mistreat you, that make you feel less than what you are, that make you feel small and undeserving and unlovable, those situations are actually blockages to your Ten of Pentacles and your Sun, to your fulfillment, to your happiness, to your abundance. They aren't challenges into saying that you aren't doing something right, therefore you need to fight for it or try to manipulate the outcome in it. If you are in situations where you are giving to something and that something is not giving back to you in the form of fulfillment or financial energy or love, it is not meant for you. And the more that you invest, the less it will give back. I see it a lot of times in relationships, and I've done this in my past as well, where when you're in a situation with someone and that person doesn't quite reciprocate as much as you give them, you have a tendency to give more. It's like, oh, well, maybe if I show my worth even more, maybe if I give more to this. You can see it in careers too. You know, if bosses underappreciate you, there's this level of maybe if I just give a little bit more and more and more and more, and you give and you give and you give and you give, and they take and they take and they take, and until you have nothing left to give, and then they're like, okay, well, that's all I needed, bye, you know, and you're kind of left in the dust because you have done everything you can to give to these situations that have not reciprocated you. You can only pour from an empty cup for so long, Cancer. You deserve to invest in situations that happily invest back in you without you having to beg for the bare minimum. From any situation. I don't care if this is talking about your relationship with your parents. I don't care if this is talking about your friendships, your career path. I don't care what it's talking about. You deserve to invest in situations that invest back in you. And I feel like this is a really big lesson for you moving forward to basically say, this is your choice. You have clearly not been happy with the way that things have been going. You have clearly been feeling very unfulfilled with the way that things have been going. And maybe not in all aspects, right? Maybe you have some things going really well, and maybe this is just talking about one specific situation. But this is the moment to step up, take charge of your life, and figure out what you need to do to start investing in what aligns with you. Because when things align with you, they are easy. They are not difficult. They can be challenging and they push you to grow, but they don't have to be painfully like difficult. Immediate future for Cancer. More. This is for Cancer's immediate future. Ooh, this breakthrough. Cancer, you're going to have a breakthrough in your immediate future. Ooh, what is this breakthrough about? Clarifying this Ace of Swords. I like this. What is this breakthrough? Clarifying this Ace of Swords in Cancer's immediate future. That you've been sabotaging yourself. Oh my gosh, yes. The breakthrough that you have been sabotaging your abundance by investing in less than what you deserve. Oh my gosh, Cancer, this breakthrough could literally change the course of your life. It's like this realization that, and that's the cool thing, is like, yes, these hard truths are hard. It's hard to be like, dang, yeah, the things that I've investing in, I've been investing in for the hope of it, not for the reality of it. And, you know, that can come with feelings of shame and guilt and frustration and all of that. But the cool thing is realizing if you're responsible for the way things currently are and the lack of reciprocation that you've received and the lack of abundance you've received, then you're also responsible for the potential and the possibility that you have in your future. You also can change the course and change your experiences and change your reality through the way that you invest in it. So just because things aren't going the way that you want them to right now does not mean that they can't turn around for you. All right, immediate future for Cancer, please. One more. Immediate future for Cancer, please. got to take accountability. You've been feeling this 10 of Wands. You've been carrying this burden of feeling stuck and underappreciated and not loved and not whatever the case is. You've been stuck in this energy and you've got to take accountability for it. This doesn't alleviate what other people in other situations have done to you. This doesn't take away their responsibility. But the only person in this world that you can control is you. You cannot control other people. You cannot control your outcomes. What you can control is your response to those outcomes and your choices moving forward. And the more that you take that accountability and you realize the types of cycles that you've been stuck in and the ways that you have continued to allow yourself to stay stuck in lack, the more that you will give yourself the ability to move forward in a confident way where you're able to say, I'm done allowing these situations to take from my happiness. And I am going to start choosing situations that make me feel good about who I am, who I'm becoming, in the life that I want. All right, Cancer, we're going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to clarify these messages and dive into the advice, and then I have an actual advice card to pull for you at the end. Thank you so much, Cancer, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Cancer.